Welcome to the Jay and Margot Show.
Where we keep it real, raw, and respectful.
Thank you for coming back and joining us. We are now on episode 55.
Yes.
Y'all know we gonna do it big for episode 100. But I just love seeing the numbers go up.
No.
Do you know? Okay, y'all. So I'm a travel agent.
Yep.
Someone texted me. I have a group of 35 to 40 people that I will be putting on a cruise next year.
Nice.
Yes, I am so excited.
What time frame?
End of July.
I wonder if our 100 is gonna,
we need to figure that out.
Yes.
Because here's the thing. What I quoted them or what I shared with them is 3 ports. It's going to Celebration Key, Montego Bay, Jamaica, and Grand Cayman.
Oh, I haven't been to none of those.
Oh, I haven't either. Well, I've been to Montego Bay, but Celebration Key and Grand Cayman.
We might be going on a cruise, y'all.
Episode 100.
And none of my kids graduate next year, so that's perfect. Yeah.
Yes, let's look. See, there we go. All we gotta do is talk that out. But yes, so, oh my goodness. So, what did we talk about?
What are we
last
talking
week?
about? Identity.
I didn't. Now listen. So, we always get together and we're like, what are you feeling? What's in your spirit? And sometimes if we don't get anything, we'll be like, okay, well, what is the month of October known for? What is the month of September known for? And,
Excuse me.
we'll see if anything resonates with us. Well, we were coming up a little blank. And so we looked it up. And the month of October is also known for, or no, it's not known for.
Because we didn't know.
We didn't know. But it's the I'm Just Me Because month. And it says that I'm Just Me Because month in October invites all people to express their individuality by promoting individual development, creating environments that break down stereotypes, and embracing who we really are.
Amen. That part about breaking down stereotypes.
Yes. And stereotypes is more than just, oh, they're from the Middle East, so it follows that stereotype. Or she's black, so I'm a single mother. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's more than that. Stereotypes is, I'm dealing with a stereotype of being a mother. Like, I want to be like Claire Huxtable, or I want to be like just this affectionate, loving, like all-knowing mother, and I just get everything right, and my girls love me. Like, that's a stereotype.
That cracks me up. That perfection. Because I told you about how my kids be putting me on blast on Facebook because of the kind of mom I was. Hold on, I'm so sorry, y'all. I am going through some sinus issues right now.
Yes.
But you remember how that was very demure, that whole thing?
Oh yeah, demure.
You're right. And it says, oh, look at her, so patient, so kind, so
demure. Yeah.
My kid did that to me with a picture with my grandbabies, and they're like, and then at the bottom it says, so not the mom that raised me. But it's true, very true, because I remember early on when I first got married, in our head we put our own expectations. We could come out of the month talking about expectations, and I had these expectations on me about what kind of a wife I was going to be, about serving my husband his plate, serving his plate. Like, men were supposed to sit down before you, and if me and my husband were anywhere where my parents were, and my dad saw me with the plate before my husband, he was like, Margot, what are you doing? Like, correcting me. So he got in the habit. Oh, he loved that. He was like, yeah, Margot, like that. So I had to serve his plate, like I was not a good wife, so I had these expectations. I had to be a certain way, he didn't know no better because he wasn't raised that way.
Right.
But in my head, in the back of my head, and the kind of mom I was supposed to be, just like you, like,
yeah,
even though I was in school full time, going to college full time, working 30, sometimes close to 40 hours a week on top of that. and having Mercedes at home.
Wow.
Trying to do the laundry.
Manage everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be the good wife. Make sure you ironing your man's clothes. You know, make sure you got him set, got the baby set. The house is clean. You know, that you made dinner. Not all of this, you know, take out and all this. And man, I can remember being frustrated, picking up after the kid. They make a big old mess again. Getting mad, starting to yell, and then picking it all up again. Like, kids can't even be kids because of this unrealistic expectation in my head.
And you know what? And that is, I don't want to say where it comes from, but I wonder, like, where did it start and why is it like that? Because now, if I would have waited till I was 4, did I turn 42 or 43 this year?
Girl, I don't know.
Now that I'm 43,
whatever, 40 something,
whatever, I have a patience now that I didn't have when I had my first child.
Yes,
my view of life is different.
Yes,
and so now I work for a local school district, and I hear like our teachers like, go sit down. Stop talking. But they're talking to a 5-year-old. They're supposed to be talkative. They're supposed to have energy. Like, that's normal.
Yeah.
But back at 19 years old, you know, like, where did the saying come from? Kids are to be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
back in the old days, that's how it was.
But why, though? You get what I'm saying? It should have... I feel like it should have never been that way. Like, we are now living in a time where we are going to therapy. We are healing ourselves. We are working on our mental state. You know what I'm saying? We are working on our spirits, where your spirit is already perfect and whole and everything that it needs to be because it, you know, you're good. But, like, the breakdown.
I agree with you. Because if you think about it, let's think about it before we became colonized. Is that the right way to say it? I know in Mexican culture, and the kids hate this. My 3 that are still home, they hate this. The minute the kids are home from school, they are right by the parent's side working, doing with them, you know, doing right alongside them, getting them life skills, getting, you know, before school. That's why I say before we became colonized, before school, kids were present. Kids were part of the day.
Part of the day-to-day.
Yes. So you're absolutely right with where did that come from.
And you know what? I just heard a clip or a snippet of Patti LaBelle. And she was saying how she learned how to cook. She said, because I stayed up under my mother.
Yes.
And she was like, and her mother would have to be, she said her mother would call her Sugar. And like, Sugar, go outside, go to church, go do something. But she was like, she was always under her mother. My husband is the cook that he is because he was always under his mom. And you're right, before colonization, we had that because I just came back from Africa, y'all. Oh my goodness. I'm still speechless. But while I was over there, we were on an excursion one day, and our driver, wasn't even our guide, our driver, who was from France, and he was just in the area for a few months making some money. And as we were getting ready to walk up, we were coming up from the lake. It was about 5 or 6 boys playing, fighting. You know what I'm saying? They were roughhousing, and they had to be no more than 8 years old. And 2 little boys got to swinging like hard. Wow. When I tell you, the driver that we had immediately went over and broke it up. And whatever he was saying, you know what I'm saying, we didn't understand it. You know, the little boys kind of parted. And as he walked away, they kind of went back at it. But he turned around and was like, no. By this time, the other men of the village were coming. But it was beautiful because over here, the men go,
yep.
Whoop his, beat his,
yep.
No, and we lived in unity, like, and they still do that. But I don't think this part. Well, maybe it has been colonized because Gorée Island is off of the coast of Senegal. But it was man, the things that we stereotype, and we're 10 minutes into this and not even into
it, yo.
But we want to dismantle and break down those stereotypes,
yes,
and focus on our identity. So I'm just me because, and this is a 2-part show. And so being that we were talking about identities, one of the things that God said to me after we decided that this is what we were going to talk about, is before we can focus on our identities, we have to deal with our insecurities. And so to be able to,
that's so true. That is so true.
And I was telling Margo earlier, like, one of my insecurities is how I am as a mother. Now I'm not out here beating my children. They not starving for food. Like, I'm not in the streets and they'll never see me. But it's just, oh my goodness, like, how my daughter's gonna feel if I do this, or I don't wanna make them mad at me, or I don't want to, I don't want them to think I'm suffocating them, when all I want is for them to give them some advice, give them my opinion, to help them avoid some of the same mistakes I made. Like, it's just, this is where I am in life right now. Dealing with having a 24-year-old.
I think you're more thoughtful than I am as a mother.
Really?
Oh, yes. My kids will testify to this one. Yeah, I don't,
Really?
Because it ain't really too much about their feelings. I remember when I told you earlier, y'all go way back and listen to our things. Those Mexicans got saying, we ain't got time to be in our feelings. We ain't got time to be hurt or depressed or this and that, because you always working. It's not so much the case now, because, when we talk about identities or try to be a better parent, I heard my first 3 saying how strict I was. So I try to let up on the 3.
But then the first 3 gonna be mad because you do
and they
let
are
up.
mad because they said I let up too much, and they're like, look at how these kids,
got no home training. They probably would say
that. My first 3 have such a work ethic and more mannerisms, more respect, more, But I was strict. And not only was I strict, my parents helped raise them too. And they were very strict, the 3 younger ones, not so much, And, but even so, my dad even said to let up.
But see, here's the thing. Like, when it comes to kids, and this episode is not about kids.
No, it's not.
But it's like, I have to tell my oldest 2, okay, if you come to me with something that you didn't agree with in the decision that I made or how I raised you, am I not supposed to take that and receive it as constructive feedback and make adjustments? Because then if you tell me, hey, you weren't affectionate enough, then don't that mean I'm supposed to now be trying to be more affectionate? Not for you to get in your feelings and be upset, like, oh, now you're always hugging the twins. Now you always this.
Why I feel like you talking to me? this whole show, she talking about me.
But then it's like a catch-22, because now if I'm more affectionate with the other 2 and you see this, it's like, well, Ma, you didn't do this with me. Well, that's because you told me I didn't do it with you. And like, only a fool would do the same thing over and over again and expect different results.
And when you get grandbabies, they are going to be super mad.
And then that relationship is completely different, because
is.
I am a grandmother's girl. You can...
Yep.
It is.
Because I was not touchy-feely. And we talked about that on here before, too. I wasn't raised touchy-feely.
And you know what? And that's the thing. Because my mother wasn't either. Yeah. And that's what I wanted and I needed from her. I thought that I smothered my girls. My 24-year-old just told me that I wasn't affectionate with her. And I'm like, wow. Oh my goodness. Even now. She was like, I'm not affectionate now. But I'm like, you 24? I don't know how. So like, the last couple of times that I was with her, I was like, oh, Jake, give me my hug. So now it's just odd. It's not odd, but it's just
like, do you do it now?
Do you do it now?
How do I do
it now?
Yeah.
But I do want to share some of this. Go ahead.
No, let's get back to that insecurity thing, though. I feel like that needs to be addressed.
So, y'all should know me by now. And if you're new, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Y'all know I'm a word girl, whether it's the word of God or whether it's learning something new. So when God told me that we needed to deal with insecurities first, I had to look up the definition of insecurity. So I'm going to share insecurity and then I'm going to share insecure. Insecurity is uncertainty or anxiety about one's self, lack of confidence. It also means the state of being open to danger or threat, lack of protection. And God just dropped something that He didn't even give me when I'm. Oh, okay. Let me write this down, y'all, because I don't want to forget. Okay, so that's insecurity. Uncertainty or anxiety about oneself, lack of confidence, and the state of being open to danger or threat, lack of protection. Now, insecure means not firmly fixed, liable to give way or break. Now, when I was looking at these definitions, God said that's the number one reason people deal with anxiety is because of their insecurities. All these people that's like, oh, I'm on my anxiety meds. I'm on this. Because they're living day to day, minute by minute, hour by hour in a state of uncertainty.
Yes.
Because they don't know.
That's true. That is truth.
Yeah. They don't know. They're not firmly fixed in anything. Because if you were firmly fixed in it, you wouldn't have anxiety.
But that root of that is worry. It's worry.
I would agree.
Because they worry about something that hasn't happened. It might not ever happen.
Now she's speaking to me.
That's a root, because with everything, there's root. And I think there's honestly only, I have to go back. I did an anger management class where they taught us that there's only like 7 real root feelings. Really? And everything else stems from that. Go ahead.
No.
Because it'll take us out on another tangent.
I will. Good, keep going.
But that worry is one of them. I believe it's worry. And that's where that insecurity comes from. Thinking about things that might not happen, hasn't happened, or might not ever happen. Could happen, but maybe not so. And we worry again because we don't know. Now I'm just gonna say it. We don't know who we are in Christ. And that's where that comes from.
So I'm not sure if this is it, but it says common underlying emotions that fuel anger include fear, pain, grief, shame, frustration, sadness, and betrayal. I'm gonna let her look it up because she'll know how to look it up. But she's absolutely right. And this is, y'all know we don't discuss how we prepare. Well, we know how we prepare, but what God gives us. And I love how He brings it together every single time, because how she said, we don't know our identity in Christ. I'm jumping down to what God led me to is that we're insecure because we're not rooted. We're insecure because we're not firmly fixed. We're liable to give way or a break. That's why people, a moment of transparency, Margot will vouch for it. About a week ago, I had a full breakdown. I gave way. I was not firmly fixed in a certain area of my life. Like I just kept, I was telling my husband, I told her, I'm like, I am having a breakdown. Like I was insecure, and I'm still dealing with this insecurity when it comes to this certain area. And you know what? God said, full transparency, it's as a mother. Yeah. I have 4 girls, and they're all at different stages of life. I have a 24-year-old who is on her own, and I'm trying to lead and guide and help her. I have a 20-year-old who is just like, I don't know what I'm going to do right now. Like, and it's, I am comparing myself to other mothers. Like, so when I say my insecurity is like, I want to be like Claire Huxtable. It's like they always had the right thing to say. They always had the right example to give. They always had the right experience as a discipline for their children to catch the lesson and understand what they were trying to teach them. And I'm like, how do they do this? Where is it coming from? And then I got twins. I got twins who'll be 17 in a few months. And they are night and day. And then I'm insecure about that because, full transparency, they not talking to each other.
Right.
And that's breaking my heart. And so I'm feeling feeling like a horrible mother.
Girl, and number
basically.
one, that's a fictitious character you comparing yourself to. And number two, it's funny because even as perfect as they try to make it, the kids still had fits and whatnot. And don't nobody catch a lesson that quick.
In 30 minutes.
Yeah,
And it ain't even 30 minutes. It's more like maybe 24 because you got all them commercials.
Exactly.
And you're right, but those aren't things that we think about in the moment. Or let me give you, okay, that was a fictional example that I was comparing myself to. But in real life, I'm in rooms with women who their children are graduating, being doctors. They're coming out of high school knowing what they want. They are like, yeah, my child got accepted into, I don't know, whatever university and got $1 million in scholarships. And mine telling me legit, I don't want to go. And as a mother, I'm like, okay, I don't want to force you, but like, I want to go. I want you to go. I want you to do something. I want to brag on y'all too. So
here's my brag. This is going to be funny. I told you my dream school was University of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And none of my kids wanted to go there. Even Marie, she was like Michigan State because she wanted to be a veterinarian. And they had the best school. But she ended up going on to get her social work degree instead. And she got her master's from U of M.
Really?
A very proud moment for me, I was very, very happy about that. Girl, we're Mexicans. Our heritage, they grew, working in the fields, on the farms, and this and that. Why is this girl working in the farms?
She's not using her.
I told her that. I said, jokingly, when she told me she got that thing, I said, really? Wow. I said, man, that master's is really conserving your. I said, you could have bypassed all of that and did what your ancestors.
And you know what? And the thing is, like, I can say, you know what? Their life is their journey. They have their own path to experience. But being honest, it's like, let me just sit this right here for you. Turn left right here. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? And even if we did do that, do you know that we still would mess them up?
And that's true. And then that goes on to, what now? How do we?
Because they have to figure out their identity.
And you know what? And I'm going to, there's so much. This is
I know, give us a little something.
But this is what God was saying, is that this is why it's important that Jay is rooted in God.
Yeah.
Not in my insecurities, but in my identity. And next week we'll talk about being rooted in your identity. But you have to dig up your insecurities and give them no life. We can't nurture and water our insecurities, because that's what we do when we don't address how we feel and what we think, and have a friend that say, you know that was a fictional woman, right? A fictional character. But we need this. But go ahead.
We're gonna have to take note on this one, because God, when we tell you God speaks to us while we're doing this, that just hit me. Like, I wanted to be a doctor, but I started thinking, when did I want to start being a doctor? And that was like in my pre-adolescence. And he was like, yeah, you weren't rooted in me then. I wanted to be a doctor because of the money.
Oh, that's good. Because as I think about, I used to want to be I wanted to be the first African-American woman to be the captain of an airplane. But it was rooted in money. It was rooted in the fact that I love to travel. It had nothing to do with God. It had nothing to do with serving anybody else. It was literally just travel and the money.
That's something.
That's
That
something.
is something.
And you know what? And I'm gonna share this. So there's a few scriptures that God gave me, and oh, hold on, he's saying something. I'm gonna have to say these for next week.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to say
because we are getting closer to our time.
We are. So I'm going to jump down to what God said to me, and He was like, insecurity distorts your view of yourself.
Totally.
Insecurity distorts, and your identity defines who you are. And we'll get into your identity being defined next week. But the insecurity distorts your vision, and now you can't do this. I'm comparing myself to Claire Huxtable. I'm comparing myself to these other women that I know in real life who basically, and we talked about this last week, I believe, who were raised different. They saw different things than what I saw. They were told different things than what I was told. Now, that is no slight to my mother, nor my grandmother, or the women that came before them. But we all know, like, we hear stories of people talking and saying, oh, my mother used to always say this, or my grandmother used to always say that. And unless it's a saying, like, what was the saying we just said? We just said
children should be
seen and not heard. That's a worldwide, like, that's well known. But there's some that, like, is unique in
to your culture,
or your family, to your upbringing, and then your identity, when it's defined, will focus on what you can do through the confidence that you have in yourself, the confidence that you have in God. That's what we want our identity to be based on. And so Galatians 6:4, this is the scripture. And look, we both dealing with sinuses, so y'all gotta forgive me for my nose itching and I'm scratching it. Like, it's definitely, we can tell the seasons are changing. But Galatians 6, chapter 6, verse 4, and I want to read this out of the Amplified version. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay. Galatians 6, chapter 6, verse 4, Amplified says, but each one must carefully scrutinize his own work, her own work, examining actions, attitude, and behavior. And then she can have the personal satisfaction and inner joy of doing, and I'm a omit doing, being something commendable without comparing herself to another. So if I focus on me, not Claire, not the women I work with, not the women that I socialize with, but if I just focus on me being, I'm just me because this is how God created me.
What version was that? Amplified?
This was the Amplified version.
Okay, let me read it to you in the message, because that is good.
Okay.
You know, and if you get the Bible app on your phone, because you can switch versions. It says, make a careful exploration of who you are and the works you have been given.
Ooh.
And then sink yourself into that. Don't be impressed. Listen, don't be impressed with yourself. Don't compare yourself with others. Each of you must take responsibility for doing the creative best.
Oh,
yes, you can with your own life. Man,
look, we gonna have to pick back up, but I'm gonna show her for next week.
See,
and she don't even.
She
don't even.
No.
But we.
That's God.
But that's
God.
It right there. Sinking. What did it say? Sink yourself into that. Self-exploration. I said I have a surgery that I am preparing for, and when I tell you 2026 is going to be my year of exploration, I'm going to take swimming lessons. I'm going to learn how to swim. I know the water can hold me. I don't know why I tense up and relax. I'll go under the water. I'll kick, and I know I'm moving. I'll float. But as far as but I'm doing that with a noodle. I'm not, or I have a life jacket, and I will legit be swimming with the life jacket. But take the life jacket off, and I'm like, But this is my year of exploration because I'm going to find out who I am, what I like, what I want to do. And one of the things that God said was that, and this is, I hope this helps someone because we always think God talks to Jay like that, or God talks to Margot like that, or he talks to everybody else, but he'll talk to you like this too. And this is how stuff be coming to me. Because as I read a scripture or as I read a definition, the little nuggets that drop, that be God speaking.
Yes.
So as I was reading the Amplified, and it says, scrutinize your own work, actions. I'm reading actions, attitudes, and behavior. But as I'm reading it, God is saying that my actions and my attitude will determine my altitude.
Yep.
That's right. God knows how to talk to me.
Yep.
So my altitude is determined and based on my actions that I take and the attitude that I have towards what I face in life. And we're going to close it with this question. Be sure to come back and join us next week. Did you have something?
So what I'm hearing from that, our insecurities are holding us back from how high we can go. That's what I heard when she said all that.
And it is.
And think about it.
And
that's
it
the thing.
is.
Chew on that.
True on that, because here's what we're going to close this out with. When it comes to our insecurity distorting us and we get off into comparison, do you really want what she has?
No,
you don't know.
No.
You don't know what she had to go through to get where she is. You don't know what it took to get her children to that point. You don't even know if her children are happy with what they're doing. She happy because, my child went to, I'm just using, because I love you and him too. My child went to the University of Michigan and they're about to become a lawyer. Well, your child's so unhappy. Your child can't stand you.
That part. How often do they talk to you? Right. Are they walking in love? Right. Or are they miserable?
Right. So do you really want what she has? Think about that.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, that answer is going to be no. And even if it's yes, ask God to show you and reveal to you how to get it in the way that he created you to obtain it. Not how she got it. Because listen, we go end with this for real. How me and Margot keep trying to get these mentors, right? We keep trying to get these ladies to hey, just show me how. And there's this one lady, I love her to life, but the communication is not consistent. I'm like, okay, what now? I went to church on Sunday. Oh, I go to church almost every Sunday, but I do an accessory prayer. And so I got down. I always pray for myself, right? Well, not myself, but anyway, usually there's this worship part. And then God, speaks to me. He loves on me. God came out the gate swinging on Sunday. He was like, he said, you keep looking for men to mentor you. He said, when I'm your mentor.
He
said, I'll tell you what you need to do, where you need to go, how you need to do it.
Hey.
And I said, this is how we starting off? He said, yeah. He said, this seems to be the only time I get with you. Because for the past couple of weeks, I have not. I haven't been in my word. I ain't been. And I was like, okay. So now I have released her. It's beautiful if she comes around. Okay,
but it's okay.
It's okay.
You and me. Take me to the top. He really is the only one that could take you to the top.
But that's for next week.
Yes.
That's for next week. We are out of here. Thank you for joining us. Come back next week for episode 56.
Hey.
We love you guys. Yeah. We love you guys. And have a good night.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.